Breaking news, Pope Francis, who's been hospitalized for more than a week, is in critical condition after developing an asthmatic respiratory crisis. That according to the Vatican. A live look right now at St. Peter's Square in Vatican City. The shocking development coming after it was revealed the 88-year-old pontiff developed pneumonia in both lungs. Thanks for joining us on the news at 11. I'm Larry Miller. We have team coverage tonight as we track the Pope's health and also look back at his high-profile visit to D.C. 10 years ago. We begin with Chris Livesay. He's in Rome tonight.
Good evening. It was an abrupt turn. The Holy See is reporting that Pope Francis remains in critical condition after suffering a prolonged respiratory crisis earlier today. The update added that the pontiff required high-flow oxygen and, in a first during this hospital stay, blood transfusions after tests revealed anemia. Doctors said he was in more pain than yesterday, but Francis remained alert, spending much of the day seated in his armchair. Earlier this week, they reported he had double pneumonia, serious for anyone, especially an 88-year-old already missing part of a lung that was removed when he was a young man. He's no stranger here at the Gemelli Hospital. This is his fourth stay here since 2021. 2 years ago, he was admitted for pneumonia. As for the latest scare, the Vatican says he is not out of danger, and they emphasize that his prognosis remains guarded, which means they can't predict if he's going to get better or worse. Chris Livesay, CBS News, Rome.
Pope Francis paid a visit to Washington back in 2015. I was here when we had our special coverage of the papal visit. Many of you at home also have fond memories of his trip here as well. Here's a look back at our coverage, which was anchored by longtime WUSA 9 journalist Bruce Johnson, who passed away in 2022.
Right now, we're waiting for the Pope to arrive back at the Vatican Embassy in Northwest, where he'll spend the rest of the night. Nothing else on his official schedule. We've got a live look at the scene in Northwest. We're told that Pope Francis should be there soon. You can see the crowd waiting anxiously to greet him. It's right across the street from the Vice President's residence. One of the highlights of the day was the papal parade. You saw this many times over. This was the best chance for thousands of people to catch a glimpse of Pope Francis. They crowded the National Mall as the pontiff waved from a specially fitted Jeep Wrangler. People cheered and waved as the Secret Service agent or two or more plucked a couple of lucky babies from the crowd for a special papal blessing. The most memorable moment, of course, happened when a young girl slipped through the police and Secret Service barricade and tried to greet the Pope. We have this close-up video of when it happened. She backed away when a bodyguard came near, but then the Pope spotted her and motioned for her to come to him. She let the bodyguard pick her up and bring her to Francis for a papal kiss and blessing. An immigration advocacy group says the little girl is 5-year-old Sophie Cruz, and she's from California. She was carrying a letter and a T-shirt with a message about the status of immigrant parents of children who are born in the U.S. A guard put both of the items in the Pope mobile, and she ran back to her family, tears streaming down her face. Clearly, she and her loved ones and all of us were touched by the Pope's kind gesture.
Yeah, it was definitely a special moment, and it was special also seeing Bruce Johnson. We miss him dearly. Well, you can take a trip down memory lane by watching our From the Archives WUSA 9's 2015 coverage of Pope Francis's visit to Washington. It's streaming right now on WUSA 9+. And tomorrow morning, you're going to hear from Dr. Thandi Mina and get her take on the Pope's diagnosis and details on the infection. Be sure to stick with WUSA 9 and WUSA 9+ as we bring you the latest on the Pope's health and reaction across the DMV.